you guys have gotten a big break here. I mean, since like your last game, you're not going to play until the third against Purdue. What are some things you guys have been working on in practice, trying to get cleaned up as you enter in your Big Ten stretch to finish out the season?
Well, that's a long list, I have to say. That's a good question, but a long list. We actually, the first day they came back on the 26th that night, and we had to do the antigen testing. And then the next morning after that, we did a Zoom call since we weren't allowed to be together. So we kind of went through some of those things that we want to tackle. I think for us, ball screen defense is something we always, everything ends in a ball screen. Everything nowadays in the game is about a ball screen. So making sure that we continue to shore that up and get good reps at that. I think attacking a zone offense, for us, zone offense, attacking a zone a little bit better is something that we had that we wanted to improve on. And then just continue to build. We have a couple different defenses that we play, and certainly, we played some zone and have a zone, and we just want to continue to get that better too, because we've had some situations where we've been in foul trouble, and or people have been breaking us down on the dribble, and I haven't always wanted to go to that, but in the last game before break, I felt good enough to put it out there. We've been practicing it for a while, so zone defense was something that we wanted to continue to build as well.
Thanks, Suzy.
Sure.
We'll go now to Brian Calloway.
Hi, Suzy. I hope you had a good holiday. You guys are about a third of the way through the schedule. I guess your overall thoughts on this team and what you really liked about the collective body of work that they've accomplished so far.
Well, I don't know. You're only as good as the next one in our business, right? So, I don't. I think there's some areas that, I think we did extremely well, and we want to continue to capitalize on those things. I would say the depth piece is a bonus right now, even though we've had, some kids injured here or there, not be able to play in a game. But now that we've, also added a couple more kids that have experience, I think that helps. And our ability, I think, Brian, to morph into what we need. Like, we can go small and play small. We can go a little bit bigger and play Kendall at the 4, who's more of a post 4, or we can kind of go with, Drika at the 5, and whether it be Julia or Tori at the 4. So now we're a little bit smaller, but we can space the floor differently and attack people. So I think our ability to be versatile on the offense and defensive end too, I have liked that about this group. I do think they are workers. I think, the majority of these kids really are committed to the team and sharing the ball. I think they recognize that that's a strength of ours and want to continue to do that. I think we're third in the country in assists right now and have been taking care of the ball as well. So that's a big focal point for us this year as well, just really playing together and playing smart. So I would say that's something that I've been impressed with. And then some individual play too, Brian. Like, I think Eliza's stepping up and, being a scorer for us at that off-guard position. Certainly you saw a little bit of what Smitty can do in terms of her ability to bring some offense to the table. I've loved how Tori and Julia have played too. I think those kids have been a really big bright spot. And then, of course, you always have the steady Clouden, right? I mean, she had 15 points in 15 minutes, I think, in our last game. And, she just plays within the flow, and it kind of looks easy for her. It's not easy a game, but I think she's done a really good job of playing within the flow and with some new cast around her as well.
And just a quick follow-up, just the Big Ten as a whole, and just how really good the league is. I mean, 6 teams in the top 25 right now, and just the depth of the conference. Just take me through. I mean, I guess, how challenging it's going to be every night, for
Yeah, I mean, well, it's tough. I mean, I think I think we have the most of any conference in the country. I think it's actually the same on the men's side, if I remember reading or seeing something like that. So I think our conference collectively, both men's and women's basketball, is really, really challenging this year. And there's just some great coaches, really good players, really good systems. You're not going to get away with much. You defend a ball screen a certain kind of way, and then they're going to try and make you pay for that. So and if you change it, they're going to make you pay another different kind of way. So I think we have really good coaches in this league that have been around a long time, whether it be their system or their individual players, that make them a unique matchup and a tough challenge. But I think it says a lot about our league that top to bottom, it's going to be a war, and we haven't played, as you mentioned, or maybe Eli mentioned, since December 22nd. So, Purdue, I think maybe played the 23rd, and they're not going to play till we play them as well because we had our game canceled on the 31st. So that's a little disappointing, but we've just tried to look at it where it's going to help us prepare for the rigors of the challenges in the league. And on the women's side, I think it's really unique because, for example, you have teams that have a power five or someone that's really a problem inside, and then you might play somebody that's a completely different style that's a little more face up than post up. So that's another unique thing that I think when you look at the 6 teams in the top 25, they play uniquely different styles. There's more ways to be successful in the country and in our league than a certain kind, just one way, So I think it's going to provide a unique challenge for us as we go into every game, what that opponent's strengths are.
We'll go now to Rico Cooney.
Hey Suzy, how you doing? I hope you had a good holiday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Your team is up there in the Big Ten, and I think up there in the country as far as shooting. Talk a little bit about that offensive piece. I mean, I know you're considered a defensive coach, and you want to be considered a defensive coach, but your team is shooting really well from the field. Talk a little bit about that and how that's come about.
Well, I think that comes from, just really adjusting our offense a little bit to provide, one, some freedom, but two, just, we're cutting more. We're in a different style of offense, I think, that has fit our team a little bit more. And other players have really invested this offseason. I think COVID provided an opportunity for kids to work on their individual skills. One of those would be shooting. I mean, not many people go out in the driveway and work on their defense. So I feel like, maybe some of this is COVID related, where they were in the gym or they're in their driveways working on their shot, and getting better individually. So collectively we are better. But I do think moving the ball, getting the defense to break down a little bit more versus, just real quick hits. And I think people have some freedom within that offense to do different things. Whether it be a big guard that posts up or a post that can shoot. So it provides opportunity for versatility, which I think helps.
Just as a follow-up to that, now you can talk about going out your driveway or going into the gym and shooting, but that doesn't explain how well you've shared the ball this season. So talk a bit how that piece has been incorporated in there.
Yeah, I do think we have quite a few kids that are have a real good understanding and an IQ that have always been kind of team first kids. I mean, even Nia Clouden, who's our best scorer, I would say is a kid that really understands sharing the ball and I mean, she's had some really amazing games in that department when it comes to sharing and getting the ball inside or driving and kicking. I think she recognizes too, the better we are collectively as a group, the better we're going to be as a team, and it's going to help her be a better player too. So, I mean, we really preach that. I think the adjustment in the offense provides opportunity to move the ball a little bit more, provide a little more cutting movement, side, top, side, so that defenses break down. So now when you go to shoot the ball, it can be an assist on a field goal, right? So, because it's a simple, it's not the first one that was open, but it's the best one that we found that was achievable, and I think that's something our kids have really embraced, and you can one pass shot it to death and you are open, right? I mean, 22 seconds on a shot clock and you're wide open. I recognize that. Maybe that's for a reason. So maybe we should share the ball a little bit more, work it around, because you can clearly get that shot at the end of a shot clock. So, like I always say, it's not the first one available, it's the best one achievable, and I think this group with the adjustment in the offense has really embraced that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go now to Nick Mantis.
Hey Suzy, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. Just wanted to clarify one thing real quick. When earlier you were mentioning the Ohio State game you mentioned it as a cancellation. Is it that officially been taken off your schedule, or is it right now still a postponement and you can maybe schedule that later on, depending on
I don't know.
the program?
I don't know. I guess I said cancellation, but I don't know, postponement, cancellation, maybe a little bit of both. I know we haven't tried to reschedule it yet, so maybe that's where my term came from. But it's so early. I just don't know, trying to reschedule some of these games that happen now, if that's smart or they want to wait till the end. I'm not sure. I mean, that's above my pay grade. So I just kind of wait and tell them. I found out we weren't playing the game on Twitter, to be honest. Like, I didn't even know until I saw it on social media. So that's how most people find their information. It gets out so quick now. But I'm not sure. Maybe Kara could talk about that as a league. I mean, she's kind of more in the know with administration in terms of scheduling and women's basketball. But I haven't heard anything about rescheduling it, but I don't know. Kara, do you know more about that? What they're doing?
No, I mean, Ohio State's lost 3 games, so I think the odds of them rescheduling all of them is slim, but I don't know anything yet.
Okay. And then, seems to be at least the theme of what you are harping on right now, being ball screen defense. Who would you say is probably one of the best, who has really tackled the ability to have, just be a great ball screen defender? And who would you say needs to improve on that? You're excited to see what they can learn as you guys progress.
Well, that's always a two-person problem, right? That's 2 people in that action. So, I mean, we can tag rollers and be in help side and do all that, but at the end of the day, it does kind of come down to 2 people. I think, our bigs have done a pretty good job of, especially when we're hedging, for example. I think they do a really good job of being mobile and changing the direction of the ball handler. I think if I had to say where we have to improve is meeting and greeting and like holding our ground and leveling off the dribbler once they try to reattack. So I think that's a little bit more of the guards than it is the bigs. Not that the bigs are, in a situation where they're off the hook either, because we do different things in the ball screen. The person that probably does it the best, I think Tori Osmond right now is really doing a good job. She's using her length. She's a 6'1" guard, and she can really still be in front of someone. So when they shoot the shot, she can challenge it, but she's got a little bit of a cushion because of her length. So she can level off a dribbler pretty well, and she does a good job of meeting and greeting. So I think she does a good job. I think Janae does a pretty good job too. I mean, she's kind of new to the crew here with her injury, and starting to play a little bit more. But I think she does a pretty good job of staying in front of people. And those are the 2 that come to mind, especially Tori. I think Tori's done a really good job of meeting and greeting that ball handler on the other side.
Thank you. Have a happy New Year.
Yes, you as well.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Coach Merchant? All right, well, thank you all. Happy New Year, and hopefully we'll see you at Fresno on January 7th.
Thanks, everybody. Happy New Year. Okay, have a good day.